Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
It's a busy morning here at Hy-Vee Today. This is Tony Tone. Good to be with you on Tuesday. It's also like 41 degrees outside, so you can tell. You can just feel it. Sun, 40 degrees, 41 degrees, walking across the parking lot. I think we're going to get close to 60 today. Automatically puts you in a better mood. And if I weren't already in a better mood, I walk in and I get to sample the new Starbucks. I already forgot the name of it. Hazelnut, coconut milk, macchiato thingamajig. That's going to help the mood as well. But yeah, it just feels really good outside. It was beautiful yesterday. I cut out a little early, like 4:45. My youngest had his first basketball class at the Y. He's 3, so it's really just like controlled chaos. And then see if you can make a basketball into a little Tykes hoop. But it was cool to be able to see that. And again, to just see the transformation that's happening still at the Muscatine Community Y. The place just, it's so impressive to walk into after seeing all the plans. And we talked about this with Brett Olson a couple weeks ago. But you just walk into the Y and you get a great sense like, man, they really did it. And it's still continuing to evolve with remodeling the weight room and stuff. We talk about Starbucks. We do have a live shot of Starbucks this morning. Let's take a quick look. It was busy when I was walking over here about 15 or 20 minutes ago. Quite a few folks getting their order in. At the moment, a little quiet. Okay. Again, I do feel like we're eavesdropping. Here's a customer walking up. Maybe she's going to try the new hazelnut, coconut milk, macchiato thing that I can't pronounce. But Tiff and Becky are working back there. And then Lori Aguero, who works at Starbucks and had coached softball and been a guidance counselor for a number of years. She'll be with us later this morning. My first guest, I'm really excited to talk to Ed Moreno with Gentle Family Dentists and this very cool fundraiser that's coming up supporting the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation. Ed, it's so good to have you here.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so we were chatting off the air, and you really gave me a sense for what the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation is, and I'm so impressed. I mean, I can't believe the amount of work that you all have done over the years to help out kids and some of the success stories. But let's back up, and for those that are going to watch this, whether it's live or on the rebroadcast on MPW Channel 5, kind of walk them through West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation, what the purpose is, and what you've been able to do.
Sure. Oh, thanks. So West Liberty Youth Dreamcatchers is a organization that was created in 2004 by Dr. Carol Moreno and myself.
Sure.
And it was created to help students in West Liberty. And the organization, in essence, takes mentors and matches them with students, and it starts in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
So in 3rd grade, 5 kids apply for the program. They're chosen, and they're matched with mentors,
Sure.
and they are mentored from 3rd grade all the way through high school. And what that means is a mentor meets with them weekly for an hour, and they work with them on anything from schoolwork to extracurricular activities, field trips, just mentoring type things.
Right.
Things that made a huge difference in our lives
Yes.
as we grew up. And once they go through the program, through 12th grade, then they receive $2,000 a year to go to college, to an Iowa college, for 4 years.
So great.
Yes, the only criteria to be in the program, there's 2 of them. One is to be on the free or reduced lunch program,
Okay.
and the second one is to be the first generation of your family to aspire to go to college.
When you meet someone in 3rd grade, they're, 9 or 10 years old maybe? I'm trying to remember what I was in 3rd grade. I was certainly...
Like 8. Like 8, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah.
I was very tall.
Okay.
And I really think that there are so many children in 3rd grade that could benefit from a program like this. So when you said that when you started the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation that you sort of picked names at random.
Yes.
But now you have the help of the educators in the classroom to identify who they feel would be strong candidates for the program.
Yes. Yeah. I think that in the beginning, we've evolved a lot.
Sure.
There's been a lot of changes, but they've all been towards improving the program.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the parents, you can show or see that the parents really are standing for their kids, that they would apply for a program, not really knowing what it is exactly,
right.
But there are contracts that they sign, contracts that the mentors sign, and contracts that the dream catchers sign about how they are going to perform and how they're going to be in the program.
Sure.
And so they buy into it.
Yeah, and they probably need to, right? I mean, they need to understand, because, again, when you're starting off at third grade and you think about going all the way through until that, that student is a senior in high school, that's a long commitment.
Yes.
But the benefit, again, is that $2,000 a year. I mean, that's a substantial amount of money to help offset the cost of college, which continues to increase. Now, certainly if you go to a state school, it'll be less than private schools, but I mean, ultimately, as long as they stay within the state, that funding, that scholarship, those dollars will be there, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so the reason that Ed's here is because on Saturday, and I think we have the flyer that we can pull up. On Saturday, you can meet, drink, and be charitable, and there it is right there on screen. It's the wine and craft beer tasting that, again, supports the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation, and it's being held right here in the club room at Hy-Vee.
Yep. Yes.
So when you reached out to Jim a week or so ago, and I saw the flyer, I thought, well, we got to just have Ed on the show because I think this is great. So has this event happened before?
This is the second annual.
Okay.
So last year we were at a wine store in downtown Muscatine.
Sure.
And we decided that this would be better because we're going to expand it.
Yeah.
More than wine, we're going to go beer too.
It's great.
So, yeah.
It's great. Okay, so let's pull up the flyer just again so we can give you some more details. It's really going to be a good time. Ticket price is $30. So as we scroll down a little bit, you're going to see light appetizers provided. You can also get more details on Facebook or at the website westlibertydreamcatchers.org. Ed, you've thought it out so much that there's hotel rooms available, there's taxi service available, and that's all at the bottom of the flyer. So I'm the kind of person that appreciates when an event is well thought out, planned out. You haven't missed any details here. This is great.
Well, thank you. We have a great development committee.
Sure.
And we work with the Greater Muscatine Foundation for the funds that come out of our fundraisers, and so we got a lot of help. It's great.
So are tickets still available for
They
Saturday?
are. In fact, they're for sale right here at the customer service
Okay.
area, and you could call the phone number to get them, or you could just stop by.
Yeah, and again, it's this Saturday. It starts, really anytime between 4:30 and 7.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a nice window of time. How many folks are involved with the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation? I wonder if, because it is such a commitment from the mentors, do you have people that have been with you for a number of years? Are you looking for new mentors? What's that process like?
That's a good question. Yeah, we are looking for mentors always. We've had people watch their Dreamcatcher go through and graduate and go on to college. It's really incredible. And we've had mentors from Turkey even, just different countries. But yes, we're always looking for mentors, people who are interested in making a difference and know and remember the difference that was made for a mentor in their lives, which we all know is the key.
It's so important. I shared with Ed off the air that, and I've talked about this on the show before, that I had a really great sophomore English teacher in high school and a guidance counselor that helped me.
Yes.
Unfortunately, sometimes students don't have those mentors, or when the opportunity to really appreciate or recognize, because we're all at these formidable years, and sometimes it can be easier to just assume, well, that person's trying to help me, but I'm not ready for the help. But I do think once you get involved in third, the work that you can do from third grade on, and you sit here and talk about some of the success stories. You have a student that's at the University of Iowa that was class president on a full ride scholarship, and then we'll go to grad school. So share some of the success stories, because again, I really think that this is wonderful to have mentors helping out from third grade on. So let's talk success stories.
Sure. Well, just one thing I'll say, your bakery smells delicious. It's really nice to smell it coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had some incredible students, like the one you just described. She
Sure.
is at the Tippy College. She just told us this year, in fact, hey, I just got this presidential award.
Wow.
I will not need my scholarship, but I want you to hold it for grad school.
Amazing.
Yeah, we've got another National Merit Scholar, and she is going to be a doctor. So she's going to go through undergrad on her scholarship that she just received,
Sure.
and then go on to be a doctor. And she's in the Hawkeye Marching Band. So they're not only really smart, these kids,
Yeah.
but they're super active and they're socially adept, which is really important in college. There's more than just studying. You've got to fit in,
Oh, yeah.
and you've got to know how to manage yourself and
You
your
do.
time.
And that's really
it's very
something
hard sometimes.
again, and that's
Yeah.
where if you have the support from home, but then you can also have that extra nudge that can come in the form of a mentor
Yes.
that understands, because again, if this student is the first in their family to go to college,
Yes.
their parents aren't going to be able to say, well, here's what it was like, because they didn't have that experience.
Yes.
So that's where the mentor can say, yeah, you have to be the one that gets yourself out of bed in the morning and gets to class on time and studies and asks for help if they need it. So I think that resource is great, and I wonder, as that student Ed goes on to college, is that mentor keeping in touch via the telephone, FaceTime, email, things
Yes.
like that?
What happens in the program, so first of all, there's a tremendous support for the West Liberty community
Sure.
and the school district, but program, there's a requirement that dream catchers apply for Upward Bound that have their free community U of I Upward Bound. Muscatine, so they're all in Upward Bound. So they give professors and teachers there that they can continue to nurture. It doesn't end,
Right.
but we do have them. It does start in like
evolves, yeah.
ninth grade.
Okay. Because again, high school rolls around, very busy.
Super busy.
And it's also that time where you start to think about, and it's weird because you get from 8th grade to 9th grade to 10th grade, and it might not be top of mind, like, what am I going to do after this? Because you got to be worried about what are you going to do on Monday or Tuesday, or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But for a lot of kids, that's when that planning is going to start. And yeah, I think to have that transition at that time makes total sense.
Yeah, it's really a nice part of the program.
Yeah. So for Dr. Moreno and yourself, I mean, obviously, education, giving back,
Yeah.
it's also important. When the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation did it come from was it an idea? I mean, all good things start, as a simple conversation at times.
Yes.
But I wonder, for you guys, was it something that you really thought this could be something significant? We need to see this through.
Yes. Well, it really did start with Dr. Carroll.
Sure.
And she's been in West Liberty for over 30 years.
Wow.
Her office.
Yeah.
The office here in Muscatine, over 8, I believe now.
Sure.
And Dr. Roberto is her partner. That's our son.
Sure.
So it's a family venture. And our daughter is a dentist also. She just went back to pedo school, and she's going to get her graduate work done and be a pedodontist.
Don't tell them that I'm having a Starbucks. Although I will say the coconut milk is a nice sweetener. But isn't that great? Yeah. So keep going. Sorry. So it is family affair.
The practice believes in giving back to the community.
Sure.
And not only through dream catchers, programs like that, but they serve all the community. So they'll take mostly all of the insurances, fee for service, of course.
Sure.
But they also actively serve Medicaid, which is very unusual in the dental field right now.
I was going to say.
Yeah, so it's very busy.
Sure.
They're very efficient and they're very high tech.
Yeah.
So if you go there, what you'll notice on their sign is, one, nitrous is free, a heated pillow.
Yeah.
There's TVs in the ceiling.
Right.
So you're totally relaxed. And they are state of the art where they have CEREC, which can mill a crown in 2 hours instead of 3 visits back and forth.
Right.
And also a 3D cone beam, and they specialize in different areas.
Sure.
So Dr. Carroll's really good with ortho, with kids, with extractions,
Sure.
with surgeries, where Dr. Roberto's really good in the tech stuff. So endo, implants, and the crowns with the
It's such a
CERECs
good
and
balance, isn't it?
It's pretty cool.
And
Yeah.
you think about how technology again can improve things and how it can change fields and businesses like your average dentist office. I mean, you got to stay with the times, right? And
Absolutely.
they've certainly been able to do that.
Absolutely.
While again
Yeah.
being committed, like you said, to the communities that they serve and trying to always be involved. And that can be tough when you're managing not only one business location but two, and then also because requests will come in all the time to be a part of things.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be tough to sift through it. But it is, again, important to always be involved. And it's always great to be thought of, right?
Yes.
When folks are looking for support, that that they'll come to you.
Yes.
I mean, that shows that you guys have been doing the right thing for a long time.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
There's lots of opportunities that show up. So, for
Sure.
example, here in Muscatine, there's a huge STEM program.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're bringing that STEM. So we've got Monsanto and HNI and some of the industries are coming to West Liberty through our relationship here in Muscatine, and they're putting on the same kind of programming they're doing here.
Isn't it exciting?
It's very beneficial. Yeah, it's great. So Dr. Carol, she's always concerned, and she sees a bigger picture for
Absolutely.
how business should fit into the community,
Right.
which is really being a part of it.
Yeah, and it again, you don't get to be successful for as many years as Gentle has without you doing the right thing. And you'll see it. If businesses come to town, they open their doors, people will notice you. You have to provide relief and then also and take those measures to get involved. And that's why I think this is so important. Again, the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation wine and craft beer event. If we can pull that up one more time, I just want you all to see this because it's this Saturday. Yes. Time is of the essence. So whether, again, you're watching us live on YouTube or Apple TV or Roku, or if you're going to catch this on look at this, check it out on Facebook. So we're going to scroll to the top to Saturday. Here we in the club room here at Hy-Vee. And you're gonna do wine and craft beer, wine and spirits, and we have so much craft beer. There's so many good options. A number of years ago, that changed, and I want people again to know that you're gonna help out earning costs. Please also go to westlibertydreamcatchers.org to learn more. And are you at a place where you could use more mentors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, we could always use it, and
sure.
Yeah, people that are really interested and have something to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, all you're going to do is help make someone's life better. I mean, from third grade on, it's really... I bet that your mentors would all share a similar story of feeling so rewarded, fulfilled about when they first got involved to where they are now, however many years that's been, right?
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And will some of those mentors be at the wine and craft beer?
They will.
Okay.
In fact, some of the dream catchers, they're going to kind of escort folks to show them where it is. They won't go in, of course.
Gotcha. Sure.
But they'll be there. And
so
you'll meet some dream catchers and some of the other folks that work with us.
I tell you what, I'm glad that you reached out, and I'm thankful that you're hosting the event here.
Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be on your show.
Ed Moreno with West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation and Gentle Family Dentist. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
To see you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So again, we're going to take a look at the flyer one more time, just because I believe in helping kids. I mean, we got to make their lives better, and to start from third grade. What a crucial time in their life to be able to make a difference. This is just great. So here it is one more time. Check it out. Wine and craft beer tasting this Saturday, March 3rd in the Hy-Vee Club Room. Get your tickets. You can buy them here. Customer service. They're only $30. Light appetizers provided. And again, check out westlibertydreamcatchers.org. Still to come, we're going to talk to Lori Aguero with Starbucks. And
through about the middle of April, cake pops are 2 for $3 all day, every day.
Wow.
They're normally $1.95 each, so you probably want to get 2.
Yeah.
And all of our pastries after 4 until the middle of April are 2 for $3, which is a really good deal because most of them are close to $3 just for one.
Yeah, I tell you what, and they look so good on the monitor, don't they?
And believe me, I've tried them all. There's not one that I don't like.
I tell you what, the cake pops, it's cake on a stick, right?
Right.
Look at the brownie. And then the other day, and I mentioned this when Tiffany was here a couple weeks ago, I had, what do they have? I had like a steak burrito or something.
Right.
I mean, so it always is changing, the menu items at Starbucks. How long has it been for you at Starbucks?
Actually, I'm going on 2.5 years.
Wow. Really?
2.5 years. So I retired from my school counselor gig, elementary school counselor, in May of 2015.
Okay.
And by November, I was like, I got to do something.
Okay.
So I started at Starbucks in May of 2015, or not May, but November of 2015.
Yeah. Was it total? I mean, it had to be totally different, right? Going from school, guidance counselor and coach, to learning, because the Starbucks job is not an easy one.
No, and so what happened is, well, I've always wanted to work in a grocery store ever since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend of mine that worked at Hy-Vee gas, and she's like, we really need, some help. And so I came out here and they said it's all online. So did the online application, and then next thing I know, I see a sign on the door that says open interviews from 4 to 6:30. Well, I was out of town and got back in town like probably half an hour before the open interviews were going to end. So I went up and I interviewed with Emily and I interviewed with Randy. And I think by that time, they maybe found somebody that fit in with the Hy-Vee gas.
Cool.
And he's like, well, what about, he said, would you consider working anywhere else? And I said,
Yeah.
well, I'd rather work with people than with food.
Right.
Like I don't want to be, back in the kitchen where I can't, work with people.
Sure.
And or in the bakery or whatever. And he goes, well, how about Starbucks? And I was like, okay, yeah, that'd be great. So, and I was a Starbucks customer anyway, so I kind of had an idea what was going on.
But now you have such an appreciation because, again, this, like, the amount of items that are on the menu just, all the time.
Well, and changing like this, drink that you're drinking just started today. So
right.
And most of them follow like a pattern,
right.
like like how many shots, how many squirts of syrup or whatever.
Sure.
And then you get a new one, and it's like, okay,
oh my gosh,
yeah. So it was a lot to learn. I mean, when I first started, because I'm old,
right.
I had this little notebook in my pocket, and I wrote everything down, and then I whipped. And I kind of recommend that to people that first start.
Well,
There's
yeah,
like a
I mean,
little Starbucks notebook that Tiffany gives out,
Yeah.
And I kind of recommend that to people. I said, feel free to, pull it out and look, because
I like that you retired, you were bored, and then you take a job that's oftentimes the busiest part of the store. I mean, just this morning you saw it. I mean,
right.
there's those rushes that come through.
We have people that come in, especially in the morning. People come in every day, and I think we get a lot of people that just walk over from Allsteel, and that's what you saw is that they just kind of say, hey, we're walking over to Starbucks, and so you get this, and it's fun. The busier it is, the more fun it is. And I remember when I first started, like on a Saturday, we would have 4 people back there in that
Holy
little
moly.
kiosk, but it was like we would have such a system going on, one person taking orders, one person kind of backing up everything and, keeping everything, flowing in the back. And it just, and when you are busy, the time just flies.
I was going to say,
it flies.
Isn't that the truth? Right.
Yeah. And it's fun. I mean, I've worked with, a couple people that have been here a while, and we'll work like on a Saturday, just the 2 of us. And we'll like think we have a break, and then somebody else comes in, and we just look at each other and hey, we're doing good. This is really fun.
I think it's safe to say that, Lori, you're competitive, right?
Right.
A little bit. So I think that
I don't know why everybody always says that about me. Hey, Brian.
I think that you enjoy a challenge. So again, guidance counselor, challenging job, softball coach for a number of years.
26 years.
26 years coaching softball. And now this job here at Starbucks inside Hy-Vee, again, a challenge all the time, especially when people come in and they say, hey, can you make me this, secret menu? Right?
Right.
But it's also got to be kind of fun at the same time,
and
right?
I think that, I am competitive. I have, people used
Sure.
to tell me that, and I was like, really? And then, and then I thought, well, maybe I am. But, even like when I come in and open at, when I'm scheduled at 5, and when I first started doing it, I wasn't
Sure.
really trained. It was just like, I kind of knew, and they said, just make sure you do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So I came in at 5, and I got kind of used to it, and I thought, I don't really need to be here at 5. I can come in at like 5:15, and even coming in, my competitive nature, it's like, I want to try to get this done by, 5:55, and even with customers, it's like, trying to get them out of here,
Sure.
It's a business, but it's also, the Hy-Vee way, and that's when I look around and I see, some of the people that they hire, and I know they hired somebody for front end she's doing kind of part-time, and I thought, yes, she's just exactly the person that you want for that helpful smile. And so even though we're busy and we want to put out our product fast, we still want to make connections with customers.
Definitely.
And that's really important. And in the morning, like I said, it's just, the same people that come in a lot, and sometimes they come in and they're not in the best mood because it's early, and I might be tired, or whoever opens might be tired, but you still want to make that connection, and because you might be the first person
to
contact that they've had all morning.
And there are a lot of people, and again, admittedly, I'm not like the kind of person that wakes up and I like have to get a coffee or anything, but there's so many people like that that'll come in and they need it, you know what I mean?
Well, and it's cool because we know what they want.
Yeah.
And so like like this morning there was a gal getting groceries, and I was like, hey, you're gonna come over and get your teas, and so we know what they want, and we can kind of have it, started for them. So that was one of the things that they told me when I first started, and I thought, how am I going to ever remember?
How are you going to
remember?
Right. How are you going to remember somebody's drink? I mean, I think about our friend Chef Awad DeBeat, who owns DeBeat's, coming in the other day, and his drink, Tiffany just like handed him his drink, and I'm like, what? He didn't have to say anything?
No, he doesn't.
And that's, you see people enough, and you get to know them. So yeah, there is a great team over there for sure, right?
It is. It really is.
And it is a high pressure part of the store. I mean, the Starbucks, again, when it's busy, it's busy.
Right.
Then when it's not busy, there's really not a break in the action because you're probably having to clean something or prep whatever.
Well, just now when I came up here, Becky was kind of cleaning behind things, and at night, there's a lot of cleaning that takes place at night, and I had this lady that comes in every once in a while, and she's like, every time I come in here, you're moving and working, and I said, well, that's what they pay me to do. So, they don't pay me to hold the sink up.
So right now you're missing. Well, you're off the clock. So, but there's a couple customers over there. And that's how it'll go. There'll be those rushes, and then there'll be that break in the action. And I have no clue. When I order a drink, it's like I'm just saying things that are almost like foreign to me, like latte, venti, blah, blah, blah. And then it just shows up, and you're like, oh, look at that. So, again, to have it go from the order to having the drink, it's great. What do you have? What's your go-to?
So this is, well, my go-to is usually teas. I prefer cold ice.
Yeah, sure.
My go-to is usually the teas. Any of the teas. The passion tea has no caffeine, and I'm kind of, caffeine and I sometimes don't get along so well. So, but this is I have an iced coffee with 2 pumps of toffee nut and 2 pumps of caramel.
Nice.
And some cream on the top, just regular half and half. So.
And again, coffee, the drinks, the new stuff, and then since Ryan's on that camera, the pastries. Once again, I mean, this. Let me just pull this up. This right here, this is a cake. This is cake on a stick. This is cake pop.
And that's birthday cake flavor.
Birthday cake. What a great time to be alive. Cake on a stick. Right?
Right.
Did you ever think you'd have cake on a stick?
No, I never, no.
At 9:02 in the morning? God bless America. Stop yourself. This is wonderful.
I mean, like I said, all the pastries, and like, I would highly recommend that if you get the brownie, you warm it up.
Sure. Oh, you warm it up.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
And if you get the scone, you warm it up.
Yeah.
We have awesome peanut butter.
You see the willpower I'm exercising by not eating the props? Pretty good.
I've had these sitting in front of me for like a half an hour, and I thought it's not going to look good on camera if a bite is out of these.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll follow your lead.
Okay, good. You could have taken a bite of that on air just to show.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice. Should I take a bite for science? Oh yeah. It's cake on a stick. Look at this. That's so good.
I know.
That's like sinful. Am I going to have to pay for this?
No. 2 for $3 all day, every day till April. I can't remember what Tiffany said. April 18th, April.
Let me just 15th. Do a public service announcement real quick, Lori. Hey kids, go to school because one day you'll get to have a free cake pop on your live streamed talk show from inside a grocery store. Dreams can come true. Thank you, St. Ambrose. Do you miss being a guidance counselor?
I do. I miss it every day. I mean, a lot of people are like, okay, you're going to love retirement, and I miss it. Like, the problem was I was at 2 schools my whole career.
Sure.
When I was at Garfield and Franklin, they were kind of sister schools, and so I knew the families and knew, and I could just kind of go back and forth if I needed to. And then when they closed Garfield, at the same time, the school counselor from Jefferson retired, and so they're like, and she was there full time. So they're like, oh, we know, Lori speaks a little Spanish. We'll have her go to Jefferson 3 days a week and be at Franklin 2 days a week. And I did that for 5 years, and I was just, I mean, I love it. I miss it.
Yeah.
I see kids in here all the time. And I did a little long-term sub over at Colorado year before last for this counselor there. And
Sure.
so I was there 2 days a week, and I got back into it. Last year I taught PE at St. Mary's Matthias 2 days a week.
Wow.
And this
Retired,
year,
remember?
Right.
You
right,
retired.
Right. Well, then this year he asked me, Ben Nitzel actually asked me to come in and do some kind of guidance lessons with one of his classes over there. And I was like,
So
oh my
great.
gosh, I went in there and I was like, oh my gosh, I miss this so much. I mean, not a lot of people would say that about,
I mean,
retired. It's
especially,
kinda like, oh, I'm so glad to be done with this. But
well, especially in that field, being a guidance counselor. I mean, you're really dealing with a lot.
Well, and it's like I always, my motto was, that I wanted to make a difference. And
Sure.
the last 5 years, I mean, I really do feel like I was still making a difference, but it was just so
Yeah.
hard. And then I'm thinking, okay, now I'm working at Starbucks, and maybe I can make a difference there too. And I see a lot of my former students come in, and some of
Yeah.
them are, like your age by now, and it's like, hey, do you remember me, Mrs. Aguero?
You mean 22?
Yeah, well,
34. Some of them have gray hair now.
Some of them have grandchildren.
Whoa! Yeah, I mean, what a thing. And then obviously the coaching, you're such a successful softball coach
and
for
I
so
do
many
miss,
years.
I do, and I'm sure Danny would say the same thing.
Yeah.
That, we really miss
How about the
it.
fact that Denny, Sure, and Lori both worked at Hy-Vee together?
Right.
Like,
He's
one of
here.
these days, I'm going to take BP in aisle 4 or whatever,
Well, that would be a good live stream.
Yeah. Just bust out some lights. Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, I've gotten to know both of you just from being here. And I know that you were a great yin and yang for each other when you coached together, right?
Right.
We were talking about that the other day.
Right.
The
and
good
I think,
balance.
Right.
The
good cop, bad
That's
cop.
right.
We'll let the viewers
That's
decide
right.
who was the good cop and
No
who's the-
comment. Yeah. No comment.
No, I mean that just it was like the winter of '88. I was coaching basketball, and he was coaching basketball, or he was reffing or something, and we just started talking, and he's like, I'm going to take over the softball program, and I had
Sure.
coached at Des Moines Hoover.
Okay.
And then we moved down to Texas for a while, and that first year, 1989, we made it to the state tournament. Actually,
Wow.
won the state tournament, and that's when there was no class. Everybody was in the same class, and I was like, I never made it here as a player, and it was like, I had just had a baby in March that year.
Sure.
And so here I had her kind of along, and my parents were kind of watching her, and it was like the best thing that ever happened to me. It was,
So great.
aside from having children, and we made it back several times, and both of us got to coach our own daughters, and our daughters went on to play in college.
It's such a great thing, right? I don't know. I'm just happy to call you a friend, and I'm only knowing you for a little bit, but I know that you've made such an impact on people's lives, both in and out of the classroom, and that you have so much fun when you're here.
I do. I mean, I love my job. I love working here.
Did you ever think, like, I'll retire and go somewhere warmer than Muscatine, Iowa? Or is it, because here's the thing, I've been here 5 years, I've had the opportunity to leave, and I haven't, because I really like Muscatine a lot.
Well,
and people would say, you're going to get caught in the bubble. Well, if this is the bubble, I like it. It's a great bubble, my dad has a retirement home in Arizona, and I usually go every year. And my son recently moved to Austin, and so I went to visit him last month. And I mean, it's like I grew up in Des Moines, sure,
but I've been here for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And so, this is my home now, and so, I haven't really thought about that, and, I mean, they'd miss me at Starbucks.
I know.
If I left.
We wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. I mean, we'd probably lose all the customers that come in to see you.
For sure. That's right. Yeah, they come in. Come in to see me. That's right.
I'm
they
so
just
glad.
never know when I'm here, though.
That's
right.
The thing.
thing.
We're taking a live look at Starbucks once again. Lori Aguero, thank you so much for sitting down. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
And somebody that you know very well
Brian.
is going to slide in, and we're going to talk about Muskie basketball. Brian Musell is going to join us in just a second. So let's take that shot back of Starbucks if we could, as we get Brian situated. Thank you, ma'am. You might want to take these props.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll finish the cake pop. There's a look at Starbucks on the 27th of February. We have our car cam is outside. All right, let's see it. I think I saw you showing me that. Oh, that's cool. Look at how nice it looks. What are we doing the show inside for? gosh, let's go.
Let's go, Tone.
Let's go outside, or let's go to Cedar Rapids or something. Wow. Looks absolutely fantastic out there. Definitely a day to be outside. A lot of people grilling, a lot of people going to Cedar Rapids tonight. Our next guest is in the hot seat, although it's not really a hot seat because he was here just on Friday. Brian Musell, it's good to see you, buddy.
What's going on, pal?
Welcome back. Muskie boys basketball. Before we talk about the big game tonight, take me through Friday, because I feel like I was leaving the Moline Vikings Club. It was 8:23 or 8:25.
The Moline Vikings Club.
Right.
Okay, you tell me, what is the Moline? I mean,
Okay.
you like some primitive fur jackets and walking around.
When I lived in the Quad Cities, a couple of my friends would go to the Moline Vikings Club on Friday.
All right.
Where the average age was, 60 or 70. Okay. And then there was this influx of younger folks that started going, and it was a place where you could have some cheap beverages and a good time, pool table. And that's when I was living in Rock Island. So I went up to see some of these guys last Friday, one of them being my friend who's also my accountant. And what I'm getting at is I got the car at 8:25, and I turn on the radio, and you're recapping the game.
Yeah.
It was a quick one.
Yeah. Game started at 7 sharp.
Right.
Just like tonight.
Sure.
It'll start at 7 sharp. We'll do our pregame at 6:45. But Friday night, we talked about it Friday morning. North was going to be tough to beat 3 times.
Sure.
And they got out of the gate 7-zip on us right away, and really dominated the first quarter of play. We got, I'm not going to say lucky, but Josh Hutton hit almost a 3/4 court shot to end the first quarter and cut a 4-point lead down to 1. And I really thought that changed the entire momentum of the game, as crazy as it sounds. He knocked that in, and North didn't know it hit him because they dominated the first quarter. They were only up by 4 at that time, but Josh's 3-pointer from way beyond half court cut it to 1, and then Joe Wieskamp took over in the second quarter. And the Muskies got out in front mid to late third quarter and never looked back. They just continued to grind out possessions.
Sure.
And won the game down the stretch with some key plays. Jackson Folk hit a couple of big free throws. Josh Hutton, another 3, and then Lex Hahn was big in the second half, knocking down some putbacks and really assisted Joe and the guys, and it was a great team win for them. Sets them up.
So talk about the team effort, because this seemed like talk about good timing for everybody to contribute, and how important, you mentioned the free throws.
Yes.
I was watching some of the rebroadcasts on MPW and then on YouTube, and I can't believe the amount of time at the free throw line, and then also the contributions, because it's easy to look at the stat line and think, well, Joe was Joe, but really, like you were saying, everybody else had to pitch in.
Right. And Joe being Joe, he got his average, he got 34. And we knew going into this one with North, they were second and third in the MAC in free throw attempts, so we knew that whoever got to the line and converted the most would probably win that basketball game.
Sure.
And the Muskies did a better job defending. They sat in their 2-3 zone, kept North out of the lane. They kind of shelled it. North couldn't make the outside shot. And if they did, could have been a different story. They really didn't. The Muskies forced them to funnel it into their size and took advantage of it on the other end. And we have the best closer in the state. Best player, best closer, whatever you want to call him, and Joe Wieskamp. And when you're ahead 4 or 5 with 4 minutes to go, you continue to put the ball in his hands, and Joe makes plays. They're going to run double teams at him, and he can get to the free throw line or give it up to somebody that can knock down free throws, and it's a good formula for success.
Sort of a weird ending to the game. We didn't know if there was going to be, if it was a foul or if it was a turnover. We have some footage from the game on Friday. This is so great to be able to see. So, it was just one of those games that the team effort was there. It ended sort of awkwardly. And then my favorite is, I was telling Chad and Ryan yesterday that towards the end, when it was over, the refs kind of hustled off the court real quick.
Well, they stopped play, but there wasn't a whistle, and the clock stopped with like 0.9 seconds, but it was a 5-point game, so I knew the game was over.
Sure.
And finally, they kind of looked at each other, waved it off, and took off to the locker room like they probably should have.
So here we go. We have a look at kind of what happened, and there they go. They're taking all right, the game's over.
Game over.
Muskies win. What a great moment to have that again.
Right.
At home.
Yes.
To win at home, to beat Davenport North, and now to Cedar Rapids you go. To the U.S. Cellular Center. This is so exciting.
Yes, it is. It's the second year in a row. The Muskies did play there earlier this year in a non-conference game against City High. When these brackets came out, I looked at Linn-Mar right away, and that was a team, a month ago I said, this is the team nobody wants to play.
Right.
In my opinion. They came down here a year ago, 10-13, and had us behind deep into the fourth quarter. And we struggled to win that game. We did win it by 6 down the stretch. It's a good basketball team. They went into Pleasant Valley Friday night, knocked off the MAC champs, who were 19-2. They beat them by 8. And they're playing with a ton of confidence. They've won 5 games in a row. They've defeated Cedar Rapids Prairie twice, a team that beat us. And they beat Pleasant Valley, a team that we lost to twice.
Sure.
So common opponents, they've done better than we have. And they play in a very good league in the Valley. So the Muskies certainly have their hands full tonight.
What changed in this Linn-Mar team from a year ago? Is it just that maturation progress? Okay, so it really is growing up.
Yes.
And again, this is just over the course of a year that a team like that, Muscatine beats by 6, and then they, like you said, they go to PV and take a big win.
They are they're 13-11 on the year, but like I said, it's such a tough league with. I think 5 of the top 10 teams in the state play in that league.
Yeah.
So they're playing tough games every night.
Sure.
They're led by Trey Hutchison. He's a junior. A year ago as a sophomore. He's grown up another year. He's averaging 19 a game.
Wow.
He's similar to Joe. I'm not comparing him to Joe, but for what he does for his team. He leads them in rebounds, scoring. He shoots the ball extremely well from the 3, over 40%. Noah Robertson's another guy. And they, as a team, kind of like Pleasant Valley, shoot a high percentage from the field and the 3-point line.
Sure.
Over 40%, where the Muskies are at 29. So there again, the Muskies got to get to the basket. Linn-Mar starts 4 guys that are 6'4" or taller.
Wow.
So that it is one of those nights where the Muskies are going to face a team as bigger than them. And in the past, they were 0-2 against Davenport West, a team that was bigger. And Pleasant Valley was every bit as big as the Muskies, and we were 0-2 against them. Not saying that's going to happen, but we've struggled with teams that look us in the eye.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenge for sure. And you take that and you put it in Cedar Rapids, a neutral site, a bigger arena, literally.
Yes.
That's a venue that I don't know if it seats 10,000 people, but it's certainly not a small stage to play. And the Muskies have been there. This team has been there, so they understand.
Right.
But it's always different when you're out of your home gym. You could say that about a road game, but this is just, I know how much this means to this team because, Brian, they win. If the Muskies win tonight against Linn-Mar, then it's to state they go, correct?
State tournament, Wells Fargo, and that's always been the goal.
Yeah.
And, the difference this year is the previous 2 years ago, we had to go through top-ranked Pleasant Valley.
Right.
Got beat at Bettendorf. Last year, top-ranked Iowa City West. We got beat at the U.S. Cellular Center. Tonight will feel like a home game from the standpoint that we will have a ton of fans. We'll have more fans than Linn-Mar, I can tell you right now, even though they're based in Cedar Rapids area. Muscatine will load the buses up. It'll be like the movie Hoosiers. There's going to be lines of cars traveling up to Cedar Rapids tonight.
Yeah.
So get there early. Get in there by 6:30, folks. Be loud. Wear purple. Mike Morgan wants everybody in purple tonight.
Cool.
So make sure you're loud and proud and be seen.
Now, if you can't make it to the game, you can always listen. That's the beauty of having a Brian Musell and a Joe Krausar that are going to hit the road with the team to carry the broadcast.
Yep, we'll have it on KWPC 860 AM and 95.1 FM and voiceofmuscatine.com. So check it out. If you can't get there, you can listen to us, and we're going to be excited. I lost my voice Friday night. I hope I lose it tonight. We want to have some post-game celebration, that's for sure.
So, okay, again, one game at a time. Linn-Mar tonight, 7 o'clock sharp in Cedar Rapids. If they win, they would play two dates possibly, right?
I think they would play Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday in Des Moines if they win this one tonight.
And that would be like an early game, correct?
Yeah, it'd probably be an early afternoon game.
Okay.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
The 4A teams, I believe, play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
So.
But one game at a time, but for sure, what a great moment. And we just, this is Muscatine, Iowa, right? Before we start the show, I saw Dana Wieskamp, Joe's mom, in the store, just shopping. And I said, I hope you have a great time tonight. I know it's a big game, and, but for that family, it's such a great story to have this, have made it this far, but to know how hungry Joe and his teammates are to go one more step.
Yes, exactly. And Steve and Danny, you're not going to get a different reaction out of them.
Yeah.
They're always the same person,
Right.
no matter what's going on. And 4 terrific boys. But Joe tonight, the Muskies have won 15 games, 3 consecutive years in basketball. Joe obviously is a big part of that, but this has been on his bucket list, obviously, from the day he put on a Muskie jersey.
Yeah.
He's set all the personal records he could set. All that matters to Joe is getting to Des Moines next week, being one of 8 teams in 4A and giving himself a shot at a state championship. And, like I said, Muscatine, let's get out and make this a community event, and let's have some fun with it tonight.
Yeah, worst case scenario, they don't win. Obviously, we want the Muskies to win. What I was going to say is best case scenario, you call in sick to work tomorrow because everybody was storming the court in Cedar Rapids tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if you can storm the court, but
You can.
it's always worth a
Yoka
shot.
might be, buying a couple of brewskis for us of age downtown CR. You never know.
That's right. Last time I was at the U.S. Cellular Center, I was watching Jim Gaffigan do stand-up comedy, and now they're playing basketball tonight. It's wild.
It's
wild.
It's a multi-use facility.
That's right.
And it's game 1 of the double dip. Iowa City West plays Kennedy after our game.
Oh, my gosh.
And so there's
Talk
going to
about
be
a late-night game.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be shocked if Fran might be in the house tonight. You never know. I don't know what time they leave for New York. They may be leaving. They may have left already. But his son Patrick would play at 8:30, so you never know. Last year he was there to watch. Obviously, we played against Patrick and Connor.
Right.
Joe did, but Joe being there tonight. So there will be a lot of people just from Cedar Rapids show up to watch Joe Wieskamp.
Absolutely.
Tonight. So
future of the Hawkeyes.
And people that just love high school basketball.
Yeah, this is such a great, it's such a great time of the year, right? I mean, the basketball at this level.
The weather's changing, 60 degrees outside.
It's going to be good. You do the game in shorts, or what do you think?
No, not tonight.
Okay.
No, those are your old Jim Miller days. Yeah.
All right, Brian Musell, thank you so much, buddy. It's good
Tony,
to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
I hope that we get to do this again, and we're talking about state, right?
We're talking about it.
Yeah.
We can do that. You tell us, but if we win tonight, I'm pretty sure we'll play Wednesday next week.
Cool. All right. Listen to Muskie basketball if you can't make it, but please consider going to Cedar Rapids and supporting the Muskies against Linn-Mar tonight. Where in the world is Ryan Broderson? Is he outside?
Well, he does, but he's got that last second.
Yeah. Oh, he does have. Okay. Last second shot of the first quarter. Let's check it out. I don't think I've actually seen this. All right, we're ready to check this out on the monitor. Let's see it. Thank you, sir. So this was from last Friday, Muskies against Davenport North. I can't wait to see this. How far was that shot? Oh, my gosh. Wow. Normally you hit a shot like that, you win a car or something. That is incredible. Wow. Perfect. Didn't even use the backboard. I like it. So, again, if you go to the game tonight, wear purple. Activities Athletic Director Mike Morgan wants you to wear purple. And please consider going. Yes, sir. Game starts at 6:30. Okay, be there by 6. Okay, so to clarify, 6:30 tonight, tip-off. Muskies, Linn-Mar, Cedar Rapids, come on out. 6:30 is the tip. We need to see you in Cedar Rapids. If you can't make it, you can listen to Brian Musell and Joel Krausauer with the call on the radio. What a fun show. Thanks to Ed Moreno for joining us. He was talking about the craft beer and wine tasting. I even printed out a copy for myself with the West Liberty Youth Dreamcatcher Foundation. That's this Saturday. Come to the store for that. It's here at Hy-Vee. Thanks to Lori Aguero with Starbucks. Look, I have all these props. I'm like Carrot Top with my props over here. And thanks to Brian Musell, Muskie Boys basketball, Linn-Mar tonight at 6:30 in Cedar Rapids at the U.S. Cellular Center. Go Muskies. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hy-Vee Today will roll on tomorrow morning at 8:30 with Mike Van Sickle, L&M Superintendent. Thursday, it's Nora Dwyer in the house. Also, Rebecca Kerwin-Howe talking about the new Merrill Hotel and Conference Center. And Friday, Muscatine Mayor Diana Broderson will be here along with Judy Yates from the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. We'll also talk to a pastor from. I'm judging a chili contest. I should have wrote this down. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. I'm judging a chili contest on Sunday. We'll get you all the details on that. All right, I've said enough. I think I need another Starbucks. I'm going to finish this cake pop for science, and we'll leave you with a couple live shots from inside the store. Go Muskies, 6:30 tonight against Linn-Mar. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow right here at 8:30.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.